Imagine getting a call from your wife in the middle of the day, and the first words she says are, "Mark, I need to talk to you. It's serious." Your heart drops, your mind races. What could possibly be so urgent? Well, this call changed everything in ways I could never have predicted. Trust me, you won't believe what happens next. Stay tuned, because this story is about to take you on a wild ride. If you're part of the Black Visionaries family, hit that like button right now and subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories like this one. It was an ordinary Tuesday, the kind of day where everything runs on autopilot. Wake up, coffee, work, rinse, repeat. But then my phone rang. It was my wife's, Sarah, and her tone, serious, urgent, cut through the routine like a knife. Her voice on the other end wasn't the usual soft, comforting tone I was used to. No, this was something different. "Mark, I need to talk to you. It's serious." Those words hit me like a freight train. My heart skipped a beat. There was a chill in her voice, something I had never heard before. Instantly, my mind began racing. Did something happen to the kids? Was she hurt? Why the sudden panic in her voice? I barely managed to keep my composure. "Sarah, what's going on?" I asked, trying to sound calm but failing miserably. Her reply was brief, almost clipped. "I can't explain over the phone. Please just come home right now." I stood frozen in my office. The world around me blurred for a moment. Everything I had been doing, all the emails I had been writing, seemed meaningless in that instant. I needed to get home. Now, I grabbed my keys and rushed out of the office, my thoughts clouded by uncertainty. Traffic felt like it had tripled in the 5 minutes since I left. I could feel the weight of the situation pressing down on me. Every second that passed felt like an eternity. As I sat in traffic, I kept replaying the conversation in my head. What could be so serious? Sarah was never one to sound alarmed unless something major was happening. We had been together for 10 years, and in all that time, I had never heard her like this. Was it a family emergency? Was something wrong with the kids? Or was it something worse, something we hadn't seen coming? I couldn't shake the feeling that something big was about to change. My phone rang again. It was Sarah. This time, her voice was steadier, but there was still an edge to it. "Mark, don't worry. Just get home as soon as you can, okay?" she said, trying to reassure me. But those words didn't comfort me. They only made me more anxious. What was so urgent that she couldn't even tell me on the phone? Why couldn't she share whatever was going on? I pressed my foot harder on the gas pedal. When I finally pulled into the driveway, my stomach churned. My heart was pounding so loudly in my ears that I could barely hear anything else. I got out of the car, almost tripping over my feet as I made my way to the door. The house, usually so warm and inviting, now felt cold. Every step I took felt heavier than the last. I walked through the door and found Sarah in the living room, sitting on the couch, her hands clasped together tightly in her lap. She wasn't crying, but the tension in her face was unmistakable. She looked up at me as I entered, her eyes filled with worry. "Mark, I don't know how to say this," she started, her voice wavering slightly. I could see the struggle in her eyes. Whatever she was about to say, it wasn't easy for her. My breath caught in my chest. "Sarah, please," I urged, my voice barely above a whisper. "Just tell me. What's going on?" Sarah took a deep breath and finally spoke. "I found something today, something that you need to see. I didn't want to bring it up, but now I have to." Her words hung in the air. I didn't know what to expect, but the tension was unbearable. What could she have found? Something in the house. Something about me. My mind raced with 1,000 questions, each one more worrying than the last. She stood up and walked towards the back of the room, pulling a small envelope from the drawer. My heart sank when I saw it. It was a letter. And from the look on her face, I could tell this was something I would not forget. Sarah handed me the letter, and I felt a lump form in my throat. As I opened it, I saw a name I didn't recognize, Victoria, and a date. The handwriting was elegant, almost too perfect. I skimmed through it quickly, each word making my heart race faster. The letter was a confession. It was from a woman named Victoria, someone I had never heard of before, but someone who claimed to know me. She described an event from years ago, an event I had long forgotten. My world seemed to tilt on its axis as I read her words. This woman, Victoria, claimed that I was the father of her child, a child I had never known about, a child I had never known about, a child she had raised alone. The room spun, and I could barely hold onto the paper. It was like a punch to the gut. "Mark, what is this?" Sarah asked, her voice barely audible. I couldn't answer her. How could I? I dropped the letter on the floor. The words were impossible to process. The idea that I had a child out there, that I had kept this secret from Sarah for years, was beyond comprehension. How had I missed this? How had this woman come into my life without me knowing? Sarah's face had gone pale. I could see the hurt in her eyes, but there was something else, too. A quiet rage. She had a right to be angry, to be upset. But what was I supposed to say? But what was I supposed to say? How could I explain something I didn't understand myself? I knew that no matter how much I tried to explain, nothing would change the fact that I had been keeping this secret. And now, it wasn't just my mistake, it was ours. My marriage was at risk, and so was my relationship with Sarah and my family. That evening, we sat in silence, each of us grappling with the reality of what had just been revealed. I needed answers, and I needed them fast. I couldn't let this lie hang over me. The next day, I reached out to Victoria. I had no idea how to start the conversation, but I needed to know everything. I needed to understand what had happened. When I spoke to her, she explained the situation, the affair, the child, her struggle to raise him alone. But she also made it clear that she didn't want anything from me. She just wanted the truth to come out. I still don't know what the future holds. I don't know how Sarah and I will move forward, but I do know this. I cannot change the past, but I will do everything I can to make it right. The road ahead won't be easy, but I will fight for my family, for my marriage, and for the truth. If you're part of the Black Visionaries family, hit that like button right now and subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more incredible tales that you won't want to miss.